all, this one is really special. Um, we're here with Mr. Brooks. So, Mr. Brooks, how was your weekend?
First of all, peace, the universal greeting to everyone out there in the world. And my weekend was marvelous, excuse me. I had a great time. Went out of town with some in-laws.
Mhm.
We ate and chill, was quiet and peaceful. I love that.
You love that?
I love it.
Oh, well, nice.
My name is John Brooks. My friends and family call me JJ, and I'm just a man in transition. I'm happy that the Go-Getter and Miss Gam, invited me, and I feel, you don't have no excuse after this.
Absolutely. Look,
If you said,
I'm sitting here, like, because I don't even know your story. Like, I know a little bit from our mutual friend, but I don't know. So I'm really excited to see, um, what Mr. JJ is all about, and listening to, you and Miss Go Getter talking. I'm really excited because I want to know, like, what is everybody else's excuse? Why
yeah,
everybody else doesn't take the initiative to do what they need to do.
no,
So I'm glad that you're here to explain your story tonight.
excuse me. I was not to cut you off.
Hmm.
When I say an excuse, everybody, don't get me wrong. I move how it was best for me. Everybody move on their pace. How they move. I'm not saying make an
Correct.
excuse like being. If you want to play the PS5, whatever it is, do it. I'm saying when I say excuses, my excuses was you can't say dreams don't come true, and you
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
can't say miracles don't happen. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you tuning in now, you wouldn't believe, and it's not made up.
I know
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
that's why I don't have no bad days. And as we go on, you're gonna see.
Right. His story is very interesting.
Okay.
He told me before we came on that I already did the podcast for
So ain't no
Yeah,
talking
let's
about
go get
everything.
her. I see she goes get her and she talk. They say I gotta talk for 40 minutes. I just talk for 40 minutes.
So that means that you're gonna fit right in. You're gonna be right at home. You're gonna be comfortable. Before you know it, you're gonna let us into your world as to how things went for you. So with that being said, give us a little backstory about you, Mr. JJ.
um, I was born in Boston. I was raised in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Um, I've been to college. I went to Norfolk State and they're paying out. Mom said you either go to school. My mom was a school teacher for over 20, 25 years. You go to school or, you go and do something. So she sent me back up north with my uncle and my first cousin. And I grew up, I started learning how to be a man there, you know,
Mm.
and life was good. I had a steady mind frame. I was like in my 18, 19 years old, still searching our life, but it was all about work. I didn't know nobody. So it's no hanging out,
Okay.
especially if you don't know no one. So I got around, got a job, did good. And then, I moved back. My mom got sick, and then that's not an option for me. If my mom leave here, I'm going to be here.
Right.
And it was a transition here. Virginia is a total different mind state. We all know that. It's hard. It's hard. And you just sometimes you lose your way.
Right.
You will sell the best things in you
yeah.
for they don't have to be riches of millions of dollars. Just materials.
Hmm.
And you get it wrong. You mess with this person, you try this, you get with this person, you try this. Now it's another hurdle to climb, and you're totally lost.
Right.
So all the things you've done, like now I can't never get them back. But what redemption is regaining what you lost.
That's right.
You
That's right.
see, so all you can do is your best, and you start by being the best that you can be. So that's what I do. A long story short, I I recently been released from doing time. I did the calendar 22 and a half years.
22 and a half.
22 and a half years. I got locked up
Okay.
1998 for robbery. And
Wow.
I guess I did it so much that I can't even explain why they said life without parole.
Okay, so you did 22 and a half, but they sentenced you to life without
Life
parole.
without parole. If people don't know what that is, it's basically what, your girlfriend, some of your best friends, man, I feel sorry for JJ, man. It's over, man. He duct tape.
Hmm.
It's over. If I have life with parole, say maybe after 20 years, 25 years, I get to change myself and explain to you why I deserve a chance to go home.
Right.
So
See,
you
but
get
with,
to go in front of the parole
you get to go
board.
in front of parole board once a year, unless you done messed up so bad, they just say, hey, we'll see you in 2 more years, 3 more years, which they call 2 and 3 year hits. But with life without parole, you basically,
Just
like I
in
was
there.
explaining,
Awarded this
go
fate.
getter, you walking in the dark.
Yeah.
You trying to get to the bathroom, you done hit your toe on the corner of the bed. Ah,
Mhm.
you fell on the floor. You
Right.
got a Charlie horse. All this pain trying to get to the bathroom, but you can't see nothing.
Mm.
You know where it's at. I know where freedom at,
Right.
but I can't see it.
You can't see it.
You know, imagine every day when you can go outside, being not even 50 yards from a tree, and you don't touch a tree in 22 years. I ain't eat ice cream in 15 years straight because I was at a high level where they don't serve ice cream, not because I was a bad convict, because I had life without parole. Just
Okay.
signing my name,
Mhm.
you get points. Like the red onions, the hard prisons,
Right.
like
Yeah.
you hear about in the mountains, they put you up
Mhm.
there, the higher your points is. So I get 20 points just for signing my name because I got life without parole. So I got to work my points down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So were you? So were you like? Where were you at? Like, because when you said like in the mountains, I remember, what is it, King Mountain? King,
King Mountain,
oh yeah, that was. I mean, I never, but
red onion,
I never.
and water
I
ridge
went
is
to see one of my cousins there,
farther than those.
and that was like the worst. So
Yeah.
it was like for us going to see him, it was like we were almost prisoners ourselves. Like they were. I mean, they were. You talking about races? I just couldn't imagine. And so basically, what I'm trying to ask you is, when you were doing those 22 and a half years, like, give us some more insight as to some of the things that you endured, like far as how they treated you guys or how you had to work your way down.
When you up there, you're 23 and 1.
Oh gosh,
Your
help me,
hour,
Lord.
you could probably get a wreck or, phone calls sometimes, or you take a shower. So you got to choose, you know.
What?
But when it's cold, ain't nobody taking no shower. And then, you got people sending you food. So every time you leave to go to take a shower, go outside, they get to come in and search your room. So if you sent me a whole bunch of food I ain't supposed to have because the trays is trash,
Right?
you
Mhm.
Yeah.
have no commissary, you have no
Right.
TV, you have books, and they give you a Bible.
So
What?
you didn't get to watch TV, so y'all didn't have commissary nor
Yeah,
TV for
there
that.
you have TVs. You have to order your own TVs, but it's no wreck. You still get food and stuff. When I was thinking 20, see how I flashback, and Lord forgive me, because you can't do all the time and not make some mistakes or go through something.
Right.
I was thinking of the whole, because that's 23 and 1. That's where you don't get no food.
Okay.
Okay, I get it wrong. But regular population, you just was locked down back then. I don't know now. But yeah, they treat you horrible. They look at you, they stare at you, say what you're looking at. They haven't seen black people before. They said I'm not being being rude, but my family told us y'all had tails.
Tails.
Tails. Soon as you get off the bus, you in our house now. A man spitting that close to your face, you can feel his spit, and they can't wait to just tie you up because you done heard the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were sending guys from DC everywhere there. The Fed inmates from DC, they had to
Right.
go there first. Connecticut people had lawsuits. They were shooting guys' eyes out. You be walking to breakfast, you think um it's dark outside. You walking in the clouds. And no matter how much water
Wow.
on the ground, if they shoot the gun, lay in the mud face down, lay in the snow face down. You better
So
not
and
get
if
off
you
that line.
right, so and if you don't,
Why?
then
You get shot.
you're gonna get
And then with the lawsuits for putting people's eyes out and stuff, it got better. And then they
Mhm.
started transitioning and getting used to black people. But I was going, but I went to Sussex at the time. We opened that up down in Sussex County, where what they called then was 4 or 5. We
And
went
what?
from up there.
yeah. What's the 4 or 5?
Wave it's like it's high, it's medium and high.
Okay.
But it
Mhm.
was a 5. Like you got the highest like red onion 6, 5, 4. Then when you get to 3, it's more movement.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so being at Sussex, it's not 23 and 1, but out the day you're doing at least 20 hours in your cell unless you got a job.
Now, can you now being that you were from where you from and you were raised how you were raised to that transition, like basically getting thrown into that, and I know that it had to do something to your mental. Like you have to be the strong individual to endure something like
I
that.
didn't know it though. And
Yeah.
that's why I like to tell people, like I tell my family, man, I said, you stop thinking we're from the same cloth, we're from the same blood.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, the difference is you just got to dig. You never know how strong you are till you have to be.
So you have to
See,
be.
out
Right.
here, you don't have to be.
Mhm.
If you don't want to change out here, hey, they don't like me, I am, forget them. You know how they say, I'm doing me.
Mhm.
F him. They'll say that to their parents.
Right.
It's all about social media and what society has drove them to be so disrespectful and selfish. It's sad and it hurts. But to be strong, you have to put it in you to I don't want to I don't want this to be it.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
but out here it's no consequence. Like my bills pay, I got this dude do this or this, whatever how you live. You know, you don't have to change. If I don't change, I know I'm gonna die in there.
Yeah. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's a
choice.
it's a different reality for you.
You know, at least from how my mom and daddy raised me, ain't no choice. And what I'm torn from, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a choice. So when I look back, when the man said life without parole, and I looked at my mama, I didn't
Mm.
hear nothing else. I looked back at my mama in the look of disappointment and pain, you know. All I could do was put my finger under my chin, tell her to lift her head up. So when I got back, I still didn't grasp it. I called her first and I said, Mom, no matter what happened, if I have to die in here or if I come home, but if whatever happens, you're gonna see a totally different person. I'm never gonna be the cause of your face looking like that again.
Wow.
So, you know, at the end of my story, I'll tell you how that comes back around.
Okay.
Because when people, like you just said, well, what make you not quit? You know,
Yeah.
that's what they used to ask me when I got a chance to tell them who I was and show them who I was when I became a mental health counselor like 3 years before I came home, like in 2017. They want to pick your brain. Like if you got life without parole, what make you get up every day and go to work for
Right.
54 cents? What make you help people that can't help themselves as a mental health counselor?
Right.
Right.
You know. But the thing is, it was still walking in the dark. I ain't know where I was going, but my cellie from Sussex for 15 years named Bernard Johnson. He's very powerful guy. He the warden got him off there off of suspicion. We was in the cell for 15 years, never not straight on Sussex, Waverly County, and he got shipped to Buckingham. He said, "I'm gonna do you a favor, but you're getting off my compound." We was on lockdown. I heard
Mhm.
the whole conversation. So when he got there, I'm going in the transition of I miss him. I go in transition, and I'm tired of being on a place where you can't be outside all day.
Right. Right.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
all I
Mhm.
know for 15, 16, for 17 years straight was lockdown
Yeah.
compounds
Mhm.
where the dogs got to follow you to the child hall.
Oh no.
You know,
So they would. So you saying they put you in those type of compounds because of your sentence?
violence people or people with a lot of time. See, they'll look at it like
Mm.
this. I ain't sending you to no level 3 or level 2 where ain't no fence or it's possible because you don't
Yeah.
got nothing to lose.
Yeah. That's right.
True. That's
You
true.
know, you don't have nothing to lose. So I ain't letting you roam around, you know. And then they don't let you learn nothing on them. You know, computer classes, getting a trade. They didn't let me learn nothing in my entire time there, except my last 2 years. I mean, not even my last year, 2 years. What was it? My last 4 months of me getting my blessing was I able to try to learn something.
So
And I
they basically threw you away. Like, they were looking at it like, okay, you were sentenced to this time. He's never coming home. So why are we gonna sit and put time and energy into somebody who's never leaving here?
Right.
When you leave here, possibly you'll
You'll
still
be
be,
dead.
yeah,
and you get
you'll be
you
part
get
of the
you
state.
get the here's three of the reactions. You get the oh, Mr. Brooks, I'm so sorry. I want you, but the waiting list is so long. I said, but the people that's on the waiting list don't want the class. You putting people on waiting list just because they have a short time. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want to learn. The youngest didn't want to learn, right? I said, your class not even packed.
Right.
So then you get the one that said, come on, Brooks, man, you tripping, man. What you want to trade for?
Yeah.
Cause they looking at
And
it like you're
and,
not
and,
going
and,
home to
and I
use it.
got to walk, and I got to smile and walk and act like it didn't affect
When it did.
me. When a day after day, it's always something saying, am I gonna go through this for the rest of my life? 2001, my grandmother.
Wow.
2005, my grandmother, my mother, and my cousin came and told me that's my mom Mary. I lived with her when we live
Mhm.
here. I was raised in her house. Okay, 2005, my sister came and told me. So I said, God, what you just gonna let me sit? I'm supposed to sit here and watch everybody I love die. I ain't built for that.
Yeah.
I said, man, so I was raised in the church. I'm on St. Steve's, the Church of God in Christ. Y'all got a shout out from me. Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Koji,
Coach.
you were Koji?
Yeah. I
Oh
grew up
my
in St.
God.
Steve's the church.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Not
And
Koji.
I started going to New Hope, Kojic, because my first cousin, which is like my brother, was going there. So I like to be around him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
New Hope in what city?
New Hope Kojic. I think now New Hope is in Chesapeake, some Pastor Stephen Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the pastor then, you know?
Yeah, Frank Smith.
Okay.
They was
Okay.
back in Blackwater, then they had church
Oh,
anywhere.
Blackwater.
They
Okay.
had in the house as long as they could shout and clap,
Yeah,
you know. But
that's true.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I gave up, man. I said, man, even though I kept pushing, man, I stopped believing. I
Yeah.
stopped having faith, you know. F you, man. What is I don't deserve this. But who am I to say what I deserve?
Right.
What I
Yeah.
said was wrong. Probably wrong. Yeah, we all know the code, no children, no women, all that. But in the streets is the streets. But it's a cost for how you move, man.
Yeah, it is.
And God blessing me now because I'm moving right. I did it so far left.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So far left, I lost some important people in my life because they put a stamp on me of how I'm supposed to be or how I want to be. People always say they change, but I don't got to talk about it. I'm gonna show you
He showed you. Yeah.
Yeah.
because when I with the help of two other guys like the one I just told you put me in that mental
Mhm.
health part. When he called me to the let me get back there, he called me to the gate. I said, "Hey man, I made it up here, man. They fine. I begged Major to let me off, man. I said, man, what you want me to do? I don't catch charges, nothing. So he said, I'm gonna let you go. But if you come back, you're never ever getting off again. I said, man, bet. I went to the gate. He said, man, I got some food for you. I said, all right, thanks. He said, hey, oh yeah, they gave me a mental health pod up here. They're gonna let me run it. I'm orchestrating it and everything. The
Right.
the head psychiatrist, Mr. Lightbody, gave me the hand stamp on everything. And that's all this dude do is read. Everybody
Mhm.
know Universal B, Bernard Johnson from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He been around, especially the nation of God's earth. They know him.
Okay.
But he has a universal mind.
Okay.
When
Right.
Christmas time, I was getting Bibles and books for gifts. I buy him a sweatsuit and whatever sneakers they got on the commissary for
Mhm.
Christmas. Because that's how you got to make it okay.
Yeah.
We buy each other gifts and stuff.
Mhm.
But I was getting books. I didn't like to really read again until him. So long story short, he said, Mike can help us go home. You down? Once I hit home, yeah.
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 Exactly.
So who knew then in 2017, we was gonna go through all they went through. We in the cell. He orchestrated it now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He put it together. Now the SAMS program in Virginia Beach Department of Corrections is by Bernard. I
Okay.
was in
So.
the cell with him. I watched him put the hours in all day. I watched him.
Wow.
Okay. So, we know how the system goes. Mental health a big thing. The government is a business.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Right.
we don't care because the blessing came was May 14th. It's my it's about 12 o'clock. I'm laying in the cell. We mental health counselor now. We get some of the wildest Marion anywhere can't handle them. They send them to us. And now it's in like prisons all over Virginia. But the head psychiatrist at this time, Dr. Quinn said, oh, no names. I apologize. I'm
No,
so
you
sorry.
you good.
But
Yeah.
she would love this. Well,
Yeah.
my head psychiatrist was my boss lady. She came and said, Brooks, put on your clothes. So I got my sweatpants. I'm sitting back. We on lockdown for quarantine.
Oh
24
gosh.
hours in the
Yeah.
cell. You just,
Oh, so
your
during
trade's
COVID.
coming. Yeah, we on COVID. So I'm laid back. I said, what a dude do it? He must be in the hole. So I grabbed my sweatpants. She said, no, put on your real clothes. So you put on your state blues or the Levi's you bought and stuff.
Mhm.
So I put on my Levi outfit and stuff, went over there. So I said, who is it this time? They said, no, I said, what's going on? They said, they need you to watch commander. I go in the watch commander. There's 5 white people. And Mr. Sykes, the one dude that gave me a chance to learn something when I was mentoring, we was doing these spoken word groups, and
Mhm.
we was facilitating in front of these people to show them how we move and telling them about your program.
Right.
You know, they was drawn to you. So after one of the programs, I said, listen, man, you the electric teacher. He said, yes, sir. He was a black guy.
Mhm.
I said, man, things starting to change in my situation, man. They ain't let me learn nothing, man. I ain't never learned how to do it right. I just need to go out there with something. I've been going 22 years. I can't go out there, man, and with nothing. He said, okay. So the classes were 8 hours a day. But it was a 6 month class course. With this COVID and what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling is I don't know why, but I want to get the course over with fast.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he started letting me mentor and come the class in the AM class and the PM class. We still in contact today, but long story short, we go in the office. He's in there. My boss lady, the head psychiatrist, and five white people from the government. They said, "How you doing, Mr. Brooks?" We from the governor's office. I said, "How you doing?" They said, "Your parents, your family's on their way. If you agree to these terms, you go home today."
So okay, so
Yeah. You
take
can.
us
Yeah. Take us back.
back.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Did that come about
That came
because
about trying to get your name in the hat, hearing no a million times. That's why no don't affect me now.
right?
You know, and people leaving because you trying to be better don't affect me. Because guess what? Get in line. They was leaving then. You know, the only one. And I know my niece Cree loves me to death like I'm her father. She told me at 10 she was going to school. Uncle Jim will go to college, be criminal justice so I can get you out. She went to Virginia State and became a criminal justice major. But she couldn't do it every day.
Wow.
She went to college and sacrificed what she wanted to do to help me
Mm-hmm.
and got it done. But she didn't make it every day.
Mm-hmm.
My mama ain't miss a day. She
Wow.
knows that when I didn't call, it's because it was on lockdown. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only reason. We talk every day like we do right now. Right
Wow.
now on that phone, we gonna talk. If it's for 10 minutes, we gonna talk.
We gonna talk. Yeah.
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 I'm just checking on your mom. I'm on the phone with someone. So okay, I'm just checking on you. I'm home. I'm safe. I love you.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
you was able to get out because
So I was putting my name in the hat. I'm gonna get back to
okay,
that.
okay.
Okay, what putting your name in the hat is, I didn't thought every way possible to get out of here. Even the stupid ways. Hey, I'm gonna pay somebody to act like they gonna stab the warden, and I'm gonna go up there and wrestle him and take the knife. And the warden is look, because I'm gonna tell you why. This is what hopelessness feel like.
Right. Okay.
This
Gotcha.
when you hopeless, you don't see nothing. This is how you think.
Hmm.
So I said, I'm gonna save a life because the warden get. I don't know how I found out, but I looked up. Wardens get one pardon.
Okay.
The whole time
So
they
your
warden, they get
plan
one pardon. My
So that
parent
your
was
was your.
plan
hoping if she thought I saved her life, she would help me.
yeah. So that was your thought. So you was imagining that okay,
Yeah,
if you
you
do
got.
this, so this is
Yeah,
you trying to do like what we
yeah.
spoke
This is
about
stuff.
earlier when you trying to make up stuff or
Yeah,
have a
that's not
vision of
true.
stuff.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just trying to find a way home. Or I'm gonna get a gun snuck in here because people get contraband.
All
I'm gonna
the
get a
time.
gun and let somebody shoot me and sue the state and tell them I don't want no money. I want to go home. But this is the thinking and the despair that's in you,
Mentality. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
dark it gets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mind just looking for anything to hope on. So I just kept saying, you know what? All right, I'm gonna be something different.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm letting all the prison stuff go. All that, all my money gonna go certified meal. I'm gonna build a resume. So by the time I got to become a mentor, I had took NA, AA, mindfulness, thinking for a change, breaking barriers. We formatted change on the Hugo Foundation. You can look on Facebook, Hugo Kings, H dot U dot H dot O dot Kings. And we got it copywritten, and the format is different. It's an umbrella of different formats. A lot of things, like I would tell you, coping
Yeah.
with a loss.
Uh-huh.
People think when you cope with a loss, oh, in prison you lose people. No, you lose dignity. People lose their dignity.
Hmm.
People lose their hope, they trust, they lose everything. So concentrate on that because that's what you're gonna need. People gonna always come and go. You
Yeah.
responsible for your happiness. So
Yeah.
I was just putting my name in the hat. I wrote the parole board that didn't even have parole. It was seven members on the time. I wrote each one of them individual. Hi, my name is John Brooks, blah blah blah, telling my situation, the same thing in a different manner because they was all different letters. Didn't hear nothing back from them, And
And it, as you know, okay. So how did it make you feel when you writing? You basically, just like go back to what you're saying. You're throwing your name in the hat. You basically
you trying
throwing
to get in the hat. It ain't in the hat
right,
yet.
right. So basically, by you writing them a letter, each one of them individually, you basically just tossing something out the window and you don't know where it's gonna go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much I guess that's still
Some
part of walking in the dark.
it's like when y'all do us when we send y'all, we take our time to get these pretty cards made. They send you a birthday
Oh
card,
yeah.
and then it become a dustpan on the TV. Be like, hand me that card your uncle sent you, so I can get this dirt off. It
Right.
becomes a dustpan. But I couldn't get mad at nobody want to do the time because I ain't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying, man, mama go win. She can't ask me for nothing or be there for nothing. She know now the time is limited because I'm out here trying to make it.
Right. Right.
I'm behind. But yeah, I put a name in the hat, and it never got in the hat. But by me going in that gate, and he said, Mike Campus go home. It was starting that mental health program was getting so big, and these Sussex and told not away about it. It's all these places they didn't hearing about it, so they coming. We got to go over there. We got to do our thing. It so happened the chairman and vice chairman of the parole board sitting there.
So you
When I
they
told
gave
him
you
I
a
hate
chance.
waking up doing this every day, I hate it. I'll be honest. I said I hate this S. I don't know if you can cuss up here,
Yeah, you
but that's
good.
what I told. I said I hate this shit. But it helped me know. It showed me things I had and I didn't know I had, like discipline, patience, perseverance. Waking up, seeing a grown man who did some of the things I despise about dudes in prison. That's the mental health part now. The
Right.
weak. It's really a PC for weak, but when you black, you got to go in population and fend for yourself.
Fend for yourself,
But when
yeah.
you didn't mess with your child, this white boy daddy knows somebody, whatever, he go in there and act like he mental health.
And yeah, and get off. Yeah.
Yeah,
So basically, from what I'm gathering is like you doing this time, it basically broke you down and restructured who you are today.
Right.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It
And it
broke
was
me
just
down.
meant and I'm sure, I mean, I can't speak for you, but just listening to what I just know.
For some reason, God loved me, right? And
Absolutely.
whatever
Yeah.
reason he loved me, he broke me all the way down.
Yeah. Build you back up.
And he's making it so hard now.
Yeah.
People that I really thought I needed to love me, when it come like children, don't want to love you and don't know why. Because you're not how they want you to be. But you have to understand, I got to be what's best for me. I can't make up for that.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
grown,
true.
you know? Everybody grown. I love my children with all my heart. But it's times like friends, whatever. I'm just saying, no matter who it is, when you're compromising, you being okay, you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself.
That's
Right.
absolutely
So
true.
that's what kept when the people, this is how the rabbit got in the hat. Never got in the hat. I wrote the pro board, they ain't thinking about me. I'm gonna tell you about I got up there and this is the conversation. The chairman of the pro board said, Mr. Brooks, I just want to know why you ain't quit.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man. She says, no way you're doing all of this and you have no release date to go home.
Right.
She said, what drives you? I said, love. I love my family so much. I got to give everything I got. Say I did everything I possibly could to redeem myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their fault they like that. I'm their daddy. You know what it is. You take the head of the snake when your daddy walk around deaf, dumb, and blind. That's how the family gonna walk.
Yeah.
So they doing their best, but they being driven, and like most of us are in broken households. I didn't get to tell them the things that I supposed to tell them. So it's on me. So whatever I go through, whether we grew difference. And one thing I did best, another thing I told them to, this place taught me, I learned to understand my truth,
Mm-hmm.
respect it,
Mhm.
and accept it, whether it
Right.
hurt or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Which can be very hard
It's hard.
Yeah.
because you know, and I
See, but you
think
learn when you do it, then it helps you grow numb. You go through
mm,
so much pain, you go through it. It ain't that sensitive, what's called that. It ain't that I ain't sympathetic. But man, I had to grow numb to all this just to make it to the mall. So when I get it wrong with my wife, I said, baby, I'm gonna get it wrong. But this what matter. I understand, I
Mm-hmm.
respect and accept my truth. So whatever comes from me doing it right, I'm not worried about it because my intentions was driven by doing things the right
the
way.
right way.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I did it wrong. I know how to do it wrong. You know, I know how to do it wrong.
So what?
and they don't get you nowhere. My best thing that got me 22 and a half years in prison. How y'all would be mad at me for wanting to think different?
Yeah, right,
You
right,
know, I don't need your advice now. I'm
Right, and
home,
that's
man.
right,
exactly.
and that's the selfish part in people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
When we want you to walk and act how we think you should, but if that was the case, you'd have been broken a long time ago.
yeah.
mhm,
I said, Mom, you can't make me be somewhere where I know it's gonna be toxic. I'm not saying it might be. I know it is. So I'm gonna stay away from it because I got to think for others.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
You know,
hmm,
I've been called some bad stuff, man. That I, like you said, red onion stuff. We don't put up with certain words out here,
Yeah.
man.
yeah.
So I ain't letting you talk to me like that. All I've been through. You
If
should
it,
honor me. I
yeah,
did it the right way. And for all those in the world who know, because we all got cousins, uncles, a nephew, son, somebody that been locked up. So I did mine the right way, 22 and a half, standing on my 10 toes, man. So I live by that. It drives me. My wife thinks that, that's what I needed to push me. And she questions it because she always said, calm down, because she know I'm always trying to do better.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See, I told the people that I said, Mr. Brooks, well, all right, since that, I said, man, the look I gave my mom on her face, you know, I'm never going to be that person again.
Right.
And if I didn't stand up here and tell y'all I had life without parole, you wouldn't have never thought it. So now tell me change don't work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what did the lady say after she asked you that? And you
After it
told her
was
that?
over, we eating and stuff, and they came over there. They said, Mr. Brooks, um, we are the chairman and vice chairman. Just the name of that. We're the chairman and vice chairman, Miss Agent Ben and Linda Bryant. And we're gonna help you. I said, I appreciate it, but I believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
heard no so much, man. I don't believe nothing no more.
Mm-hmm.
All you get in here is lie. People lying to you. And I probably didn't lie to people. Whatever I got, man, I deserve it because it's my karma. That's why I try to tell my wife all the time, man, do it the right way. Don't be like them. Don't get mad and say I ain't talking to them. No, you don't have to talk to people. But as long as you kind and respectful, man, you're gonna make it. You have to walk
Yeah.
in kindness, man. You
Yeah.
have to. And it's like it's sad that society to come to this because nobody really care. They don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care you felt disrespected.
Yeah.
They don't want to know why. And so they said we're gonna help you. I said, I believe when I said it. She said, okay. She said, do you have anything going on? I said, all my legal remedies, all I have is a pardon. I got a conditional pardon, which means, I'm not saying I'm not guilty. I just feel like I was sentenced unfairly.
Unfairly. Yeah.
So I put a conditional pardon. I said, I have the conditional pardon in 2015, you know,
So your party was
in
in
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't come home in 2020.
So now at
So,
this
so it's a
time
waiting process.
it was what year when they the five people were the um
The room.
in the watch commander's office?
2020, May 14th.
2020. Okay. So it
Okay.
took 5 years of
For
you
your pardon. I
working.
put it in. I was at Sussex all the way for 15 years for like 2017.
Okay.
So when I got there, I told you my friend said, "Hey, I got a program. Might can help
Mm-hmm.
us go home."
Right.
And it started moving. We was doing it. And for me, my God's way of putting my name in the hat was putting me in the program.
Right.
See,
Okay.
when that goes back to people out here, choices. You gotta try, man. Cause if I didn't go there, get some, I ain't going in there with them. Like everybody was laughing at us, walking with, man, y'all walking to yoga with them retarded dudes. But guess what? Jeremy Johnson came home, Harrison Smith came home, and them two dudes started it with mainly Jeremy Johnson, but that was his sidekick, and I came home first. We
Wow.
came home back to back.
So that was the way of putting you
I
in
got
that
pictures with
program.
Governor Norland right now with the guy I'm talking about on my phone.
So
Standing
that
with
was
Mm.
Governor
putting
Norland.
you in that program so you can be placed in front of those people that was going to like push your part and not push your release because your letters probably wasn't even hitting
They
their
wasn't even
heads.
getting there. You don't get nothing,
Right.
So
So that was the way to
they
put
probably
you in
get
front of
mail
them.
all day, every day. So you just go on a pile.
Hmm.
So I didn't quit though.
Right.
I was walking in the dock trying to get to the bathroom.
Trying to get
Like
to the
my mama
bathroom.
said, how you gonna find you? I ain't understand what walking in the dock meant. She said, all the things you gonna bump into or you gonna hurt yourself, whatever. But you still, how you gonna find Jesus if you don't know how to work in the dock? I told you, she coached
Yeah.
everything, Jesus, everything.
And Jesus, but Jesus was actually
You know,
covering you then
whatever you
throughout
call them,
throughout.
man. And I tell you, and I got to, you can't tell me how to be saved.
Yeah, that's
My
true.
family could say, well, why you ain't saved yet? How you know I ain't saved? You didn't even ask me what you call saved though,
Right.
Right.
because I
Right.
know what heaven is, because I definitely seen hell. I ain't got to wait to die to see hell. You do
Wow.
22 and a half years in the bathroom. You do it.
Wow. Okay, so you were doing so you put your paperwork in 5 years ago, and you in these programs, and you guys are building um these things for other
These programs.
these
Yeah.
programs for
For
others to be
others.
transferred in just for the program that you all were actually in. So
Sample
that
now.
that spoke volumes as to that program, right?
Right.
Yes.
What you say now is like
It's
is
not.
is
I
in the
can't know.
is in
I
the
don't know
state,
all the prisons. I've been concentrating hard trying to make it out here, because
right?
in there you gotta you learn how to survive. But
Okay.
like I get calls all the time. My phone number stayed the same since I've been home, because guys call me all the time, and then I tell them, man, you got to learn how to live out here. But I knew it. Everything I did wrong is drugs and financial stability. What most black people do wrong, trying to
Yeah.
get some money. But you know, when it came to them, and they see you now, you facilitating everything.
Yeah.
They said, "Well, did you take this?" I said, "Yeah, I teach it, because I had it in my portfolio. It's all the certificates,
Mhm.
Mhm.
all the certificates.
Mhm.
All I want you to see. There's no way you can look at this. I'm proud of the work I'm putting in.
Right.
Ain't
Right.
no way you gonna see this and think you can't look at this. He's supposed to die in prison.
Right. So it definitely goes back to what you said, like a miracle, like that dreams do come true. Because in reality, you may be 1 out of 10 people that this actually happens to.
You want to
Like
go in
it.
the room? You ain't let me go finish the room now about dreams come true.
Oh yeah, finish the
So
room.
when I went in the room and they told me that your family is already healed, I mean, on their way. If you agree to these terms, I said, just let me say, I don't care what I got to agree to. I said, it's over. She said, I didn't know I was drowning underwater for that long time, because the gas I got and the way I cried. I go to work and be driving the truck and be crying sometimes. I ain't sad though.
Yes,
It's
happy
hard
tears.
out
Yeah.
here. It's hard. I'm trying to make it, because I told him that financial ability would be my only hurdle. If I accomplish that, my life can be great. I got a beautiful life. I'm happy. I just want to take care of my family, my wife and
Yeah.
my family. I don't want her to work all the time. I'm a man, you know, and that's all I want to do. I want to be who I am, the
Yeah.
image of God, the provider. We
But
the son.
right, but being that you went through all of that, I'm sure like you have your challenging times now. But being made up of what you're made of, though, when you're riding and those tears are falling, right? And you're just thinking like, God, like, if okay, I made it out of that. So I know you're gonna see me through this, right? So what would you say to someone who may be walking in that same room you were walking in, bumping into everything, and they feel hopeless. They don't know what to do or how to do. What would you say to them to encourage them if they were to call you on the phone right now?
Look right in that
Survive,
camera right
man.
there in front of you.
Survive. Survive. See what the ma got, man. You know what's gonna, if you do nothing, you're gonna get nothing. You're gonna get nothing. They'll let you lay around, they'll let you not clean your cell, let you be nasty, they'll let you do whatever you want to do, except wrong, you know. So you just gotta do it. I don't know what your life gonna hold. I didn't know. I didn't know. 1998. I just came home. I've been home 4 months, it'll be 4 years. I went to college at 53 years old, because I had to clean pools for $9, $10 an hour when I first came home, because I ain't never going back there. When we went and closed on the house, because the pandemic did help me a little bit, and I got on my feet, I was driving away from Chesapeake, because that's where I live now.
Mm-hmm.
God blessed me with a home. I never sat in the office with a lawyer talking about signing papers to close on a home. Thank God for my wife. Right now I'm out of work. Tow truck, cement truck turned over for me not trying to kill somebody. It
Wow.
went out of control on its own. Yeah, you blame it on me. I ain't getting no ticket, no dirt in the urine, and clean alcohol. But I got fired right through the holidays.
Wow.
So what would I be if God didn't have me already? And what I said, man, if you grew up in church, he ain't bring you this far to leave you, man.
Yeah.
That's what I said to myself. I don't worry. I'm not afraid, because I feel like what happened to me, the worst that happened.
Yeah.
I know what hell is. You ain't got to tell me I got to die to go to hell. And,
Yeah.
and it's in your mind, man. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's so hard. And people not don't want to help you, man. So I had to go to college at 53. I went from the pool, cleaning pools to $10 an hour, $300 a week. I was ashamed to even show my wife my check. And then I went to apprenticeship school and learned how to insulate pipes on ships. And that was number $17 an hour. They was breaking my back, it was affecting me. I'm 53 years old. So at 53, I went and sat in the front in CDL school. And everybody that was ahead of me, man, catching on. I'm old. I learned slow,
Yeah.
but I comprehend well. And I know I'm gonna do what's necessary. If I know this pre-trip is almost 90 some things, I got to remember word for word before I even can get in the truck.
Mm.
That's what most of my concentration coming on. So I ain't on the phone on Facebook. I'm studying the paper because this can change my life forever.
Right.
So when I went there, I passed on the first try. And it has changed my life. I was making good, I make good money now. One thing about it, I put myself in a position in the toolbox where I always got a job. You need your medicine, you're gonna need your food, you need everybody with Amazon.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna drive a truck. But my goal is I want my own truck. But this
Okay.
stagnated me a little bit. We on the go, like I said, I'm working hard. I got to learn how to balance credit. I ain't never had credit in my life.
Right.
I gotta remember my car note coming because I ain't just got to throw the money because I ain't never had a car in my name.
Okay.
We
So
always should put in other people's name when
right,
coming up.
right.
Yeah.
So and then it's like you didn't have any re-entry because basically
I was on COVID. They threw me in the street. I
through your
couldn't even go
street.
get my food stamps. Social
Wow.
service was
Hmm.
closed at that time. You couldn't get an appointment at that time. I'm talking about 2017. It was locked. We
Hmm.
couldn't move around at that time, and people was dying in there from COVID. It was plenty of cases, and they threw me out there like that to the wolves. To the wolves. But I always said, I don't care where they throw me at.
As long as I'm out
As
there.
long as you was outside.
They said this was never possible, so it can't be bad. The ice cream spoiled, it can't be bad. I went 15 years without eating ice cream. It can't be bad.
So it's just like the some of the small things that we take for granted. It's
Yeah.
like it made you really stop and think like, dang, like this
Yeah,
is crazy.
stop
Yeah.
saying um food nasty. You ain't do this right, you ain't do that right because it's a mistake.
Yeah.
You gonna turn around and make a mistake 2 hours later, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to say it when you ain't been through and it haven't been taken from you, but you know, everybody not saying it just cause. Now I
Mhm.
don't know if y'all watching the movement on Facebook now, but a lot of brothers on Facebook, and I try not to because I need my concentration somewhere else right now.
Hmm.
But them guys coming out of prison doing shout out to y'all brothers. The ones that's going back, it's always like that, it's always some. But majority of y'all, man, y'all out there doing it. I'm watching you, man. Y'all been out here 5, 10 years, y'all doing your thing. Y'all helping the communities. Y'all showing us that don't throw us away, man. Understand us. I don't want to be like that no more. I ain't being mean. I ain't acting funny. Educate yourself, and you wouldn't think I was acting funny.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And
what
that's
that's what I'm about to ask you. Do you think education
It's
is
everything.
is everything?
A woman gonna think totally different. A conscious woman with knowledge of self gonna think totally different than a unconscious woman that has no knowledge of self. She don't know her value. She don't know where she come from. So she don't know where she going. She just winging it. See, the only
Mm.
reason I know where I'm going because I know it's just up. I don't know which one.
Yeah,
Like I
because you
told you,
you already been
I
down.
did Blue. She'll tell you I done took every job. I ain't complain about nothing. I ain't complaining about nothing. I went to work every day for $10 an hour. I drove from it. I spent more on gas than I got in my check, and I went every day.
Right. Yeah.
but I guess, and you can say like you was mentioning earlier about miracles, because when you were sentenced, how old were you when you were sentenced to life?
30,
So you was 30 years old.
29, 30, right up, yeah.
So at that point, they pretty much were
Put it this
saying,
way, 29. I missed all my 30s and 40s in prison.
Mm.
right. So therefore, you missed all of that. So when everybody else your age was outside doing, whatever they was doing, and so you looking at it, you never gave up. Like what the lady asked you, why when you had life, you never actually gave up. So them putting you in a um high level prison because of the fact, quote unquote, you have nothing to lose. So they expecting you might try to escape. You might try to do whatever, whatever. But in your mind, you was never on that anyway. You was still focusing on getting yourself out and back to your family, right? So
Or
when
trying to
you
survive.
trying to survive, right? Because that's what he said. He said in prison he was surviving. Out here he's now living.
I'm trying to live, I'm
Mm,
learning to
yeah.
live because it's a
Right.
process.
Because it's a
You,
process.
you take somebody away from something 22 and a half years, all this
So you
stuff,
had to learn different
they
stuff.
want you couldn't go and Kroger and order your own food,
Right.
on the computer. I mean, pay out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to learn all this stuff. I'm still learning. My 4-year-old cousin taught me how to do hot spot. I'm fussing in the car. 4 years old.
Right.
We laugh about it all the time. They said, "Man, how you learn hot spot?" I said, "Man, London taught me. My cousin taught me." She said, "JJ, stop whining. And it's hot spot." I said, "I don't whine, London." She said, "Give me your phone." 4 years old.
Yeah. 4 years old.
So you use that intelligence and guide it the right way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Be
it's
so
on us
powerful.
though, as men, because we partially made women feel like they ain't need us. I mean, I'm gonna speak for me. I can't speak for all men, because I ain't never been faithful or none of that. It didn't matter, when you're in the streets and
You
all
need to
that.
have
It
that,
don't
that
matter.
lifestyle, right?
See, but when you get consciousness, you know who you are. No, you're not gonna be perfect. I get it wrong all the time, but it's driven by the right intention.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
When you worried about it, karma getting back on you, it's
Oh,
not driven by the
definitely.
right thing.
Mhm.
Like I tell, I said, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't know I was coming home, but I
Right.
know, I
Exactly.
know he ain't bring me this far for nothing. I'm gonna see this.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Mhm.
see this through.
Yeah.
So now
So
let
that's
go
We gonna
ahead.
see
Go
this
ahead, Miss
pride,
Go Getter.
But see, that's what I'm
this
saying. That's
reward.
where your miracle come in at because you had no plans on coming home. You had the dreams and the thoughts, and when you said you was daydreaming, trying to put stuff together, trying to paint a picture. So you kept seeing your vision, and you kept trying to put your vision in place of you coming home with no thought of intentions that you was actually going to come home, but it happened.
Because I was
So
like you
that's
say,
where you have to keep when they say keep manifesting and keep putting your action out, your thoughts out there, you kept doing that. So when you was placed in front of them people who would not read your letter, more than likely who wasn't reading your letter, you was placed in front of the chairman of parole and the other person. They saw you, so they didn't have to read your letter. So the whole time when you doing all of this while you in prison, it was kind of working to that direction to prepare you to come home. So you was having your thoughts. You start out with your thoughts, then you start having your imaginary plans and all of that, not knowing, it was working towards something because you were still in the dark.
I got to get my name noticed because
Mhm.
I know I was so
Mhm.
confident that you know somebody see it, just
Yeah.
see it. And I couldn't get it on this desk,
Right.
every angle. I never heard
And it won't
nothing,
the desk that it was going for. It was a person to person
Yeah,
contact.
And
yeah.
that's see, and that's exactly what it was. Even though you were you were doing what you thought you needed to do, God was
Mhm.
working on the back end.
Right.
So it was like whereas you were trying to put your name in the hat and like you said, bounce, get on somebody's desk,
You
right?
put your name in a room.
And he actually placed you in the room.
In a
He had
room.
them come to
Mhm.
you, which
Mhm.
is, I've seen like stories on Lifetime, so like that people call, and it's only a few
Uh,
call and say, hey, you can get you actually get to go home, or you get
Mhm.
to go home in such and such a date. But for you, it was just like all of what you were. Only thing I could think of, all of the work that you were putting in, it was in alignment with
Right.
what His plan was for you.
Mhm.
I
So,
just couldn't see it.
and you
Yeah,
couldn't
Right.
see
You
it
can see it. You
yeah.
were still in the
A
because
lot
you
of
dark.
know
times
why?
it
If
happened to
you saw
see.
if you saw it honestly, you probably would have messed it up.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
you would have messed it
Yeah.
up.
doing too much.
Hmm.
That's what they call doing too much. And
Exactly.
and
So
and
it kept you in the
when you
dark.
get out, you have to go to. Even though it was a pardon, I still
Mhm.
had to go to the parole board, let them know I'm
Mhm.
out. So I went to probation parole the next day. The lady sitting there and she was reading the paper. She said, I went to sit down. She said, "Mr. Brooks, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." She said, "The governor gave you a pardon to come out?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I've been working for Virginia Beach probation parole for 34 years. I never met nobody that ever got a pardon." She said, "Can you do you mind if I tell this story in church Sunday?"
Wow.
She was working there 34 years. So it's for her to say all them people she didn't see and get out of prison. I was the first one she meet with a partner. I cannot tell you, don't tell nobody that dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I
now,
don't know what they call it. I don't know if they call it. I feel like I'm living a dream because I rather
Yeah.
meet. I said, this
It's
is
your
God.
dream.
God put this dream into reality for me, and all y'all, He just putting it y'all pieces,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
y'all, y'all parts
Mm-hmm.
of growth and development, man. And it's the positive parts.
Mm-hmm.
He's taught me that, no matter how it feels, you can't prosper with that toxic in there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So,
So okay, so you got out. Now, were you with your wife before you went in, or like how did y'all meet? Like, tell us a little bit about your love life.
well, I've known her when she was too young. So when the age came up, I know my wife since 1995. I
Okay.
left 98. A lot of people wonder how we got together, but it's none of their business. But she was too young and all, so then,
Mhm.
I was home and my whole thing, I told her, listen, I don't want no girlfriend, man. Ain't nobody telling me what to do. Man, I've been told what to do, and that's the only thing we don't want. Ladies, please, man, y'all not want to be quiet, but be quiet sometimes. Okay, I understand in this, but I'm not him, and he not him. So just try to understand this. Respect this man, love, and that's everything else gonna come. The love, all that's gonna come. But just be quiet sometimes and understand, man. And it's not an excuse. People think it's hard being a black man in America. Now, let alone when you fall into the spider web and they take 20, 30 years out your life and throw you in the street as an old man in your 50s. You can't reproduce.
Mhm.
You can't do nothing unless you go get a trade. And if you ain't got time to go sit in the classroom, what you gonna do? You be an old man out here trying to juggle women and hustle.
Mhm.
Don't not know what to do. But I don't want to do that. I can't wait to this over. I love the time with y'all. I can't wait to get in that big bed, that little bed I've been laying on all them years. I still, I'm 5'7".
Right. Right.
That's the one thing. I'm not institutionalized to the point where I can't think, but it's things that be wrong with you. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't
Totally got you.
cuddle,
Yeah.
not because I didn't want to cuddle, because I laid on my side.
Okay.
Well, after we love each other, what we're gonna do? I roll over back on my side because I've been laying like this or rolling over like an alligator in a circle for so long, but I didn't know.
Mhm.
So when she spoke on it, then I explained to her that's probably why. But I got it now.
Oh, yeah.
You lay on the same side of the bed because the bed is the size of the seat right
Mhm.
here, but it's just long. So you don't get there, roll over and your foot hang off the bed.
Until your
I can lay
toes
on
is
any
probably.
hang of the bed now. My feet don't even hang off. Your feet always off the bed growing on in prison. They know. I'm just happy to be here. So,
Right.
whatever you take from it, like I said at the beginning, I mean, I don't know if you would call it a dream, miracle, call it what you want to call it. But they told me I won't never do it here. So I ain't nothing wrong. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
care. Even
That's
if I stomp my toe in this door, they said I won't never stomp my toe in the door
on the outside.
in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
So I don't care. But I got feelings. I'm a man. I bottle it up. But all those trials God put you through of that loneliness, that darkness, it prepared me for now. He knew this was coming to me
Yeah. He knew.
before I come,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yep.
Everybody clapping their hands ain't rooting for you.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
true.
true.
So
You
how
know,
so how does that make you feel? Like with you knowing that, how does that how do you pivot from that thought of knowing that everybody that's in front of you is waving really not in support of you and what you're trying to do.
that's them. I can't I can't be what I want to be worrying about something I can't control.
And that's exactly right.
That's
You
them
can't.
being them. I'm not gonna be liked by everybody. I'm gonna try to get it right, y'all, but I ain't being mean. I'm just taking care of me. It's hard, man.
Right.
No.
You
Because
know,
you have to build yourself back up at this
you
point.
have to learn.
You learning, you have to build yourself up to what's going on. And I know, you said earlier about you feel like you running a race, you trying to catch up. Although you will probably never actually catch up, that's time that's actually lost. But just if you just stay the pace and where you at now and suck up what's the now versus what's the past and just suck up where you are now and just enjoy the moment. Just don't miss out on the moment trying to catch up on 22 and a half years because
No, that's done. You can't get
yeah,
that
you
back.
Yeah.
can't
I
get that
don't
back.
live like that. This how I live, like quote quote. I don't
Cool,
want to
cool.
write to this music. Jay-Z.
Yeah.
My first like my last, and my last like my first, man. You know,
Mhm.
I wake up, my wife say, we can do anything we want to do. You don't know what's tomorrow. I ain't got no proof that I'm coming back. I got one shot. So
Yeah.
when it's something, and I had, spending problems like that. And my wife
Okay.
had to buckle me down because I didn't win the shop and dream for so long. When
Right.
I
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
stuff, I go get it.
Yeah.
Forgot
Mhm.
that money got to stay here because they ain't take it out yet.
Yeah.
See, that's all they're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I ain't care about credit getting debit because I ain't had no bank account anyway. You know how
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
But the white man used to tell y'all run away out to this dry. I'm gonna take every sip out of it. Every sip. Cause I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
So when I
true.
say catching up, I ain't trying to catch up and make up for past running. I don't run the street.
Mhm.
You know, I go to these functions, family functions. My wife wanna go have a good time. We have a good time.
Mhm.
You know, I love the couch and TV, man. I love it. I watched
Love
the
it.
13-inch TV for 22 years, sometimes a 5-inch. That was my main TV. Y'all don't
Mm.
even know they make black and white still, do it? They got
Oh.
black and white TVs in prison.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Yes, they do. So,
Mm.
man, I'm just happy, man. And, you know, I ain't never did a podcast before. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's surreal.
It's your story.
It's
You know what?
surreal.
And it's so ironic because just like from us doing podcasting, like we are we have learned like a lot too. Like a lot of
Right.
stuff we wouldn't know if you haven't, like you said, if you have never been through it, never experienced it, then you wouldn't know. But just these almost 4 years just sitting beside people and listening to half of the things that have transpired in their life, it's like you know, although sometimes even like with you, when that gavel hit and it said, the judge said or whomever said X amount of time, like you never know. Even though we think that they have the last say so, they really don't.
Mm-mm.
Like God really has the last say so. Even though we don't know what our future holds, like you said, we only can do what we can do and do
Right.
our best every day. And
Right.
that's what we strive to do, is to do our best better today than we did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, with you sitting here, you have now transitioned from a world of, structure, basically their way or no way, to now you're having the freedom of basically doing what you want to do. You know, um, what's the next step for you?
Long story short, because like I said, I know their podcast around one day. They probably said, well, he didn't tell us how they met. Well, long story short, she was too young. I came home. She friended me on Facebook. My niece
Mhm.
told me I was supposed to have a Facebook page. I said, I don't want it. She said, you got to have one out here. So she made me one.
Right.
She posted a picture of me in a white beat in the kitchen.
And
And I
she
got a
was
friend
ready. She
request.
was ready. She was ready. She
And it
waiting
was
on you.
somebody throughout the time that we didn't people don't know we ain't in on bad terms. It was always love and respect. You were just too young,
Right.
you
Okay.
know. So ain't none of your business what's going on. I love her like this for a reason. And
Yeah.
then it all comes in. If something happened to me, is she gonna honor and respect my mother the way she know that I do? You know,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want my mama to be out back because her son gone. You know, so
Mhm.
we got a 4 bedroom in case mom get tired. She ain't never gonna get tired, but that's all. I love a woman that respects, what drives me. It don't take a lot. She get it up. She get it good.
But
What you
you
want
know
to
it.
eat? I don't care what
But
we
you know
eat.
what? Though? It go back to being a conscious woman. Like being
Mhm.
that she is conscious, she knows how you feel about your mother, and she
Mhm.
knows that who was there for you in those times when you probably didn't show up for yourself.
Right.
So if she's any type of woman, she's gonna do what she needs to do because she see you doing it.
That's what Jay Twice was originated. I ain't built a brand now. Like I told you, I'm out here struggling. I
Hmm.
ain't been out here long enough. I've been out. There's no excuses, but I just got other things I'm trying to do now.
Yeah.
But you said that that's the one that love when I had for me, right?
Right.
That's where Jay Twice come from. It ain't gang. I said, when I said call me Jay Twice, you said twice is JJ. But
Hmm.
I always explain I love you twice because in case you don't have none for that day for yourself.
Wow.
You said that just then.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
need that. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like I said, I can't get mad you not want to do the time. I don't want to do it. But I'm going to do it because I know what's going to happen if I don't. So, like I
Absolutely.
said, brother, it's not hard. And I'm not trying to say you gotta understand. You gotta get involved with something. You gotta free your mind. Only your body locked up, man. You know, go with get a job, go to kitchen, work every day, whatever. Like I did, I worked like I was going to work every day. Got up 5:30 after count and went to work. Went to electrical class. I did it like I was on the street.
Mhm.
Like you say, you seeing it. So
Right.
it becomes a habit. So now I got to get up. If I laid around for 22 years and then I get thrown out here and I got to get up four
You be
o'clock in the
laying around
morning,
Yeah.
you lose your job.
Yeah,
So you
that's
got to
right.
train your body because throughout time like that, habits is hard to break.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it wouldn't
like I
work.
told you, I just broke out of laying in one side of the bed.
So it's so basically it's like one thing at a time for you now that you're actually tackling one thing at a
One thing
time,
I'm
one
right,
thing at a time.
I'm just trying to tackle find a way of finding legal financial stability where I don't have to work hard and she don't have to work as hard. Do my
Right.
part, and we have the vision, we have everything lined up. It's just time. It takes time.
Yeah, it does.
I
Yeah.
It
already
does.
know I'm gonna be working for her.
Right.
She gonna be my dispatch. I'm gonna drive the truck. I drive for anybody else. I drive for her.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
That's right. Because you bringing
I'm
money
54,
into
but
the
I ain't a
house.
beat up 54.
Right.
God's been good to me. He blessed me. I ain't beat up. I still can work.
Right.
I'm real bow legged. My knees hurt, but I got a little bit.
You got
I got I got a good
pushing.
15 in me.
Yeah.
See, that's my goal. I said 15. I'm supposed to not be doing nothing.
Mhm.
15 years, and it seems far in my at my age.
But it's
But
not.
But
it's
it's
not.
not.
I'm
Not the
not
way
gonna. I'm
these
not gonna be a
years
messed
going
up
by.
69-year-old. But I just want to lay back, man, and don't have to worry about the things that we worry about in life.
Okay, so let me ask you. So, are you on probation or anything now? You're not
3-year pardon. I
3 year
completed
part.
it. I just
Oh
told you
wow!
4 more months.
Congratulations. Yeah.
They
Okay.
came in there and said if you agree to these terms,
And you didn't know
for
what they
three
were at
years.
first.
I didn't care what they
Yeah.
were. You could have told me I had to stay in the house for the rest of my life. I would have chosen my house instead of being in prison for the rest of
Yeah.
my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it don't matter. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's really no bad days. And you said that ain't possible. It is possible when your mind tell you, man, it get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you know it gets worse, when you already had
I'm
worse.
not saying I'm the strongest man in the world, but it's some things like we said that we lacking on out here. It's common sense. It gets worse.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So you had that 3 years and you completed that. So
I
you're
completed. I'm
free. You don't
free.
owe them nothing else.
Oh, I got a passport. I just went and got a passport about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I
That's
went I
good.
went from going not going home so I can go anywhere I want to go in
Look
the
Yeah.
at
world.
God.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
God.
It's nobody but God.
I
Yeah,
got
you
a
can go
passport.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, me a passport. I didn't even know what it was. I just thought it was some Tom Cruise had on Mission Impossible. I ain't never had no passport.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Man, we
Yeah.
come from the heart, man. All those messages. It may not be like to you, but it's a lot to me.
Yeah. And that's all that matters
So have
and
you
that
planned
counts.
your first trip using your passport?
We planning it, but where I want to go, I'm going to Africa.
You want to
Oh,
go to oh, you
I
want to go
don't
to
want to
yeah.
go
Africa,
to Jamaica.
Lord.
I don't want to go nothing, and it's gonna cost, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it. That's what I want to do. Nas on belly went to Africa.
That's
I'm
look.
gonna
That's
see.
right. That's right. Put it
I'm
on your
gonna see
bucket
that.
list and plan accordingly.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're gonna get there. I
yeah.
already know. I have no doubt that you're gonna get there.
Right.
So, Miss Go Get It, what did you take away from tonight?
I took away a lot from tonight. It's just too much because I've been talking to him for what about an hour and a
An
half,
hour,
two.
yeah, man. This the longest podcast ever.
And then we had the pre-podcast.
What I work here? Y'all gave me a job I ain't know about.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
No, I
So
thank you. I appreciate it. I
I
appreciate the
just
rubber.
I
Y'all just
just
keep
take
going,
away
man.
I take away, never give up.
Yeah.
Anything is possible if you can. It goes back to that. If you can vision it, then you can achieve it.
Exactly. You got if you don't achieve it, I might not want to came home because of but I did y'all listen when I told him I said my
Yeah.
if I die here or not, I promise you, when you come see me, you're gonna see a man. You're gonna start seeing a man, you know,
You're a changed man.
a
Hmm.
Yeah,
changed man,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I took away from tonight, I'm just like Miss Go Getter. Like, I've definitely I in listening to a little bit of your story, even though I don't know a lot, but just listening to some of it, it just make me think like, you know, when you are in whatever position God puts you in, a lot of times people don't think God put you in prison. Whatever position He puts you in, and you're in that idle time, you have to make good of that time, and you chose to make good of that time. Whereas The next person or somebody else probably would have been sitting there on their back for 22 and a half years, but they may not have been where you are. So I'm just like in awe of all of what you have experienced and then how you're sitting here now and you don't look like you're 54. You
Thank
don't
you.
look like you did, what
It's been
been through
hard.
what
I'm
you've been
trying.
through.
It's hard.
But I just take it as God had you covered the whole entire time, regardless if you saw it or not. So that actually encouraged me, you know, to be sitting beside somebody who endured all of that and they're in their right mind. That alone is just a testament of to who God is.
God is so
Right.
good.
So I mean, I have enjoyed our conversation. So tell us how
And
I know
build,
this your
and
first
excuse
time.
me,
Go ahead.
build your relationship with God.
Yeah,
Stop
absolutely.
trying to do it like everybody else. You know,
Mm.
me and God cuss. Well, he ain't cuss, but I cuss him. He still love me. He
Mm,
still
okay.
accepting me. I did it how I knew how to do it. I told him the truth. I told him the truth. Like now, I said, God, I'm not asking you to do it for me. You already gave me the tools. Just show me what to do and tell me what to do, and I'm gonna do it. You gave
Mhm.
me the wheel and the drive. Just
Mhm.
tell me what to do, because I get confused sometimes. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm confused. So
Mhm.
I pray on that. Y'all, and don't be mean, man. You're not gonna make it being mean and disrespectful. So don't ask why this happened to you or why things don't seem to go your way, because what you put in life, the universe gonna take care of itself, and
Yeah.
it's gonna reflect back.
Yeah. You
You don't
definitely
gotta
gonna
ask nobody how they living.
reap what
When
you sow.
everything going bad, you know how their spirit is. They telling you. When everything can't go right, it's because you ain't doing right. And I don't know what your right or wrong is. Who's to say what right or wrong is? But you got to deal with that within you and God. But if you question it, then you know it ain't right.
Yeah. Absolutely. You done dropped
He up
some
here,
gems in here
he up here
today.
preaching.
But I mean,
Yes.
he's speaking from the heart. He's speaking from
Exactly.
from experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we always ask our guests, and I know that you like you said, this is your first podcast, but it doesn't matter because you and Miss Gogetter have been talking for like an hour prior to, so you pretty much a vet right now, right? So we want you to tell us how your time has been since you've been on Way to Gam in the podcast tonight.
It's been wonderful. I'm a snack head. I'm looking at y'all candy, the candy I'm gonna take when I leave. Uh, I'm not driving, so it's just a lot. Everybody
Yeah,
ain't got to know everything,
yeah.
but for real, go get a gown. It was a pleasure, and I told God, man, I tell anybody that want to know, man, it's not a see. I guys said everybody think it's a scam or you. Well, what you do, man? I did everything I thought of possible. I can't tell you how to do it for you. I don't know how you treat people. I don't know how your karma is. I don't know what the universe got for you. I had a lot for me because they beat me up. You seen Passion of Christ?
Mm-hmm.
They say we walk in the image of Jesus. Well, he's an example of how when he said, you come to me to God, because he's going to show us the way, how to live righteous, how to walk
Mm-hmm.
righteously. So the beating he took on Passion of Christ is the things that we take. It's just not physical.
All right.
We are struggling mentally.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, it's mental. And
Yeah.
back in the day, mental health been here since the 70s, man. When I was little, but we call him Crazy Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't
Mm-hmm.
crazy, man. See, so we just got to learn though. We ain't, like I tell my wife, I don't let everybody say you love me when you don't know how to love me.
Yeah,
If ain't
that's
nobody
true.
ever taught you how to love or open that can, how you gonna open it? So if you ain't never done it before, you don't know how to do it. You get me?
Mm-hmm. I get
Okay, so I said you have to learn these things. Everything in life, that's why they say remain teachable, because
you. Yeah, it all
everything is a
started with
learned
Yeah.
that.
behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From the
that.
time you come out your mama, you're learning. So everything you know how to do, somebody taught you. So if you see his life going this way and he trying to teach you, stop saying he preaching when he just trying to help you understand, because he know you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, but you just want to know. But try just knowing. Like I'd say that another thing. Y'all can read an hour on Facebook, a whole hour past it. So and so say this, so and so say that. I give you a book that ain't even, I only give you a book because I know I used to not like to read. So I give you a pamphlet, like 15, 20 pages, telling you a little bit about yourself. They don't want that. Like I
Oh yeah,
said,
and you know,
like I said, Wanda, give me that dustpan over there on that book. That stupid ass book your uncle gave me.
right,
His
and
late ass. He
that's
been
out.
gone all that long, always trying to teach somebody.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just showing you, man. Don't ask me if you don't want to know my view of
Yeah.
And you know
it. I
what
can't
they
give you my
always
view.
say is, um, if you want the black people, something, put it in the
Put
book,
it in the book.
cause we ain't gonna read it.
And read.
Hmm.
You
So,
gonna read.
but you have so many avenues out here now. You have Audible, so but it's just about you applying yourself.
And it's like you said, the discipline. It don't gotta be a read a whole book. Take out your time. So I'm gonna read 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
or 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever one you want to do. You ain't gotta do 100 push-ups, do two if it make you better. You just gotta
That I
do
be
it.
doing too.
You gotta do what's right to make you better.
That's right.
You know,
Right.
Build yourself
can't
up.
nobody else do it for you. We can help and we can assist and coach, you know, but can't nobody do it for you.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You have to do it yourself. Well, I
Absolutely.
really enjoyed talking to you for my 2 hours.
So how can people? Are you on social media?
I'm JJ Brooks, but I'm really not on. She make me have to comment on stuff, but I post sometime when it's something significant, like my passport. I
Okay.
show that I put then and now. I try to inspire.
Okay.
So it'd be here and there. If I ain't done something for the first time, I'd be maybe probably excited and what people take for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but I'm JJ Brooks on Facebook and J twice on Instagram. I don't think I know how to work Instagram.
Me
They
either.
wouldn't let me learn nothing though. I
Yeah.
wanted to learn, so I'm out here learning. I can't learn everything. I've been out here 3 years and 7 months, man. I gotta learn about how to keep up with the mortgage, the insurance. All this stuff is new. So,
Yeah.
this gotta be paid. But I got a strong partner, man. I ain't worried about nothing.
Well, that's
I know
good.
that's
That's
right.
And I
good.
ain't saying it like when I say I ain't worried about nothing. Because like you said, he brought me this far
Yeah.
to leave me.
Yeah.
He
That,
didn't bring me this far.
absolutely.
So what
Absolutely.
the worst? And then to me that was hell. So the worst thing can happen to me to happen.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Okay. So with that being said, stay tuned to all things Wait Again a Minute. And good night from JJ Brooks, J twice.
Y'all stay
Good
up in
night.
there, man. Keep your heads up, man. They not dissing you, man. They just don't know and they don't understand. So just have patience, man, and just keep trying because you know what's gonna happen if you don't do nothing, man. You don't do nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. So just do it, whatever it is, or whatever way you do it, just do it
And with that being
and stay up.
said,
Peace. God
good
bless.
night.
Good night.